Ready?
Oh, hey guys. So, guys, welcome to Sales with Jay and Ron. This is what I just got from my last deal. This is 2 duffel bags filled with cash. Just throwing that out there. Seriously, guys, though, welcome to another episode of Sales with Jay and Ron. This is Jay. Today we're going to be talking about negotiations, so that once you close the deal, you can get some hard-earned cash like this.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to another episode of Sales with Jay and Ron, where we teach you effective ways to communicate with sellers.
All right, guys, you know what we do here. Today we're going to be jumping into negotiations. So to get started, we just want to make sure we make it clear that we're going to be talking about negotiations, but there's something you need to do before negotiating.
Yes, definitely. So we're going to assume that you already got the time, right? We're talking temp. You got the time, you got the equity, you got the motivation, and you got the price. You already set up the next step to negotiate, right? And in this call or visit, you're gonna work the deal killers, right? You're gonna make sure you leave the door open, and you're actually gonna get this deal done.
Yeah, so to get started, like Ronnie said, we already have the temp of the next steps. So I guess we'll kind of just show you a live example of how we would kind of play a negotiation, and we could take it from there. So, hey Ronnie, I appreciate you filling me in about the house that you're looking to sell in the next 2 months, that you are looking to buy a new property in Florida, and that you are looking to move because time's of the essence, because you are a little bit behind on your mortgage, and that you feel like you are able to sell it at least $250,000 for the property, walk away with about $160 after paying off the little bit of mortgage you got left, and catch up on some payments. So if you were able to get that $200,000 and take care of that and give you some time to move to Florida, are you 100% ready to move forward?
What do you mean by that?
So what I mean by that moving forward is, like, would you be ready to kind of commit and sign and move forward today with us buying your property?
Yes, if you can give me the price we seem to be on the same page with, if you can give me the time, because I do need to get to Florida, you know that.
Of course.
Then yes.
Okay. So I know it's really important for you to have the time to move to Florida, so that's something we could definitely do if, of course, we can agree on a price and actually get this done for you. So with that being said, I do understand you getting to Florida is the most important thing.
It is.
And if we can help make that transition smooth, I would love to see if we can get this done for you. So, I know we spoke a lot about the property and your situation and how we can help. And I do know that you really do need to move soon, and that you are a little bit behind on your mortgage. So this is something you're trying to get done as soon as possible.
That's right.
So with that being said, I did sit with my project manager and underwriting team yesterday. And, I did look at the photos you sent me. I wanted to thank you for taking the time out to do so.
Yeah.
Honestly, Ronnie, I'm not going to lie. I'm not too sure if I'm your guy. I did say I want to get this done for you. I just don't. I don't think I'm at 200.
Got it. Guys, we're gonna continue this, but let's talk about all the tactics we use, right? For one, you definitely want to make sure that you recap everything, right? You want to remind them that the reason that I want to sell this property, right, is to get to that picture perfect, right? So Jagger's 100% making sure that he's showing them, like, remember, you have this problem, right? And this problem is stopping you from getting to this solution, right? Your picture perfect, which is getting to Florida. So I can potentially be that answer for you. So I just want to remind you that I can potentially get you to Florida, right? That's why you recap, right? You make it very clear. You show the person that you're listening, that you listen to all their problems, right?
Yeah, guys, and the picture perfect is the most important thing that's going to get the seller to go where you want to go with them, because that's their dream, that's their goal, that's getting them out of their situation. You also want to touch on their pain, which I did, a little bit behind on your mortgage. You're tired of dealing with this, so we can get you to this point. You want to touch on pain and picture perfect in your recaps, so you could show them right now, hey, I know this is still a problem for you, and then now this is where you really want to be. Now I'm the bridge to get you there. Yep. So now let's talk. Yes, you need 200,000, no problem. I don't know if I'm your guy at 200, so I set that tone that I might not be at that price, but we already know that we're close. So then now that they know, hey, I can still get this done for you. If the price is the most important thing, then they would have listed it. They know I'm the guy that's going to give them time to move, and I'm the one that knows where they need to go, help put that plan in place and give them the time to move. that's the value they see in me. So that's why I spoke about that and touched on it so much. So when you are negotiating with people, make sure you touch on their pain and their picture perfect, guys, because that is what's going to get you to make that decision off of emotion. As we spoke about in past videos, you want everybody to make their decisions off of emotion. That's what's going to get them to actually want to move forward. Even if the price does make sense, if they're not making it off of the emotion, it's probably not going to happen.
Correct. Yeah. And so now we get to a point, right, where, right, the original price, right, he just told me that he's not there, right? So let's go back to that.
Yeah.
Now.
So Ronnie, I'm not gonna lie, I have to sit with my project manager and team. We really want to get this done for you. I want to help you get to Florida and give you the time needed so you can pay off your bills. But we're not gonna be at 200.
Let me see. I mean, how bad is it? Like, where are you guys?
Ronnie, I'm not gonna lie, like we're pretty far off, from what I thought. I this is on me. This is on me. I really thought the renovation was gonna be a little bit less than what it actually was. After hearing from my two contractors, it's a little bit more than what we thought. I don't even want to offend you with where we need to be to get this done for you.
No, I'm ready. Just tell me, man. Maybe we could work something out.
I don't know. I think it might just be best if we just maybe, take a step back, because I'm just not at 200. I know that's where you really want to be for you selling the house.
Look, I want to get this done. Look, if how bad is it, man? Because I want to get this done. I'm ready to go. I'm over this house. Just get me out of here, man. Honestly, this is yours.
All right, Ronnie. Listen, it's hard for me to say this to you because I don't want to offend you, but we could definitely buy your house. We can definitely help you move to Florida. I could definitely give you as long as time needed, give you that time with the committed buyer myself in place for you, so you really have nothing to worry about, and I can make sure that this next step happens for you in the next 2 months. So with that being said, if I can do all of that, and we're gonna be probably somewhere near 173,000 for the property. With that being said, are you even interested in anywhere near that with me helping you move and getting this off your hands? But we're really far off from what I thought.
I thought you were gonna say like 50 grand.
Oh, you thought I was gonna say 50 grand?
Yeah, that's how you made it sound.
Oh no, Ronnie, no. Of course I'm not that far off. I just know, that $17,000. It's a lot of money.
And time out. So right there, guys, right? More tactics being used, right? Super apologetic. He stayed definitely emotionally stayed way behind, right? Well, I'm up front. Please tell me. Jay's like, I don't know, right? You're staying behind, right? So you're staying behind. Another thing you're doing, right, is remember we have that episode on how to get the price. He used the anchor, right? He bought it a little lower, and I'm pretty sure 173 is not your number, right? You probably have a little wiggle room there,
Yeah,
right?
guys, between us, we could be at 180, maybe even 185 to get this done.
Boom, right? So you set the anchor, right? You were very apologetic, right? You kind of set an even bigger anchor by kind of saying like, oh, it's so far off, right? So now this guy's like, oh my God, this guy's coming in at 50. Then he comes in a couple grand less, then he's like, oh, he can still get this done for me.
Yeah, guys, so Ronnie hit the nail on the head, right? Like, we made sure that we stayed a step behind. We made sure that we touched on the pain and the picture perfect again, that I can still buy it, but it's just going to be less than where you need it to be. And then I listened. He really wanted me to tell him, so I gave him falling on the sword, blaming myself why we're not at 200 and why we might be a little bit less. Even though I knew we were still going to be in his range, I just didn't want to set him up for thinking 173,000 is going to be a lot less. So you do that by going super negative. And these are tactics that in real examples we've used with sellers, and people actually understand this and then want to continue to work with you because they're not offended. And then if they are offended, I let them know, hey, I might offend you with this. Yep. So then now we just don't move forward and buy it. But at the end of the day, we're in his range. This might be a good fit. And more importantly, with his situation that I'm touching on, that I'm going to help with, is the more important part. It's not the price. So always make sure when you're negotiating that you touch on the plan and how you can find a solution, and then get into price.
Correct, yeah. And guys, we should have prefaced this as well. If you're meeting this seller in person, do not walk in with the contract in your hand. Please don't.
You won't get any of this. All this big bags of money.
Hey, you're not getting it. Don't set that expectation, because once again, you're not sure if you want to buy this house, right? You're going in with that mindset. Hey, why didn't you bring the agreement? Whoa. I got to make sure that I still want to do this, and so do you. We got to talk about everything first before we even talk about this agreement. That's how you want to set up. And now let's say, just to kind of fast forward a little bit, let's say after that negotiation, me and Jagger agree, right? Now let's say Jagger's the seller. The next thing I'm gonna do is like, okay, and with that being said, the next step normally is, in order for me to get my process started and start allocating my resources to work towards closing, we do need to put this on paper. Does that make sense?
Oh, we could just verbally agree, right? And just move forward whenever you're ready to close.
What would happen if me and you just agreed to 180, and then in a month I forget and I say we agree to 170?
Oh, you can't do that. That's not fair.
I'm with you. So with that being said, I would personally prefer us putting it on paper, because this paper also allows me now to go to the title company and show them that there's proof of an agreement at an agreed upon price. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Guys, you see right there, he didn't offend me by giving me the example on how it helps Ronnie and why we need an agreement. It's like, hey, if we don't have this in writing, how do we know that we're actually committed to each other? So that's one way you talk about the post-close.
Yeah.
Because then now, once you get this contract, now that's just a contract, right? You guys know that's not where the deal's done. You still have to then close on the deal, then whatever you're going to do to work on the project or whatever, and then resell it. So this is just the one step, and you want to make sure that there's going to be the least amount of hiccups as possible. So that's why the negotiation is very important. But just as important is, after you agree, getting that signed agreement right then and there. Because if not, you're going to get price shopped and you're not going to get the deal, or they're just going to change their mind, or something will change. So you want to make sure, if they are actually ready, you get that signed right then and there, go over your agreement with them, and then now you can start that next step of whatever it is for you in your business. But the important part is negotiate, then set up an agreement, and then talk about post-closing, which we'll definitely get into another episode of just that. And leaving the door open, which is a tactic that you do when you make an agreement. We'll touch on it real quick. So if, say, me and Ronnie agree at $180,000, hey, Ronnie, I think I could definitely get this done for you at $180,000. I'm like 90% sure. Off of the photos you showed me, we really think we can get this done for you. The next step for me to get to 100% is just to get one of my guys in, just to confirm the renovation that we're going to do, so then I can guarantee you that we're going to buy this at this price 100%.
So I'm confused. So why don't you just get your guy out here now before we put anything on paper?
It's a great question, Ronnie. The only reason why we usually don't do that, and my boss really doesn't like to, it's just more because, let's just say I get down there, I get my guy, I pay my architect, I pay my contractor to come take a look at this property, and we don't even have a commitment with each other. Then now I'm spending money on my resources, right? Like, I'm paying him $1,500 here, even if it's just his time, to go look at this property that tomorrow you could just change your mind and go with somebody else, or decide you don't even want to sell it, or that price might not even work. So this just shows that we're both committed to each other. So then now I can get to my 100%. This 90% means I think I'm close, and I really think we can get it done at this price. And then now for me to get to 100%, I get one of my guys in there. So then now I'm not wasting your time or mine. You give me 2 or 3 days. I get my contractor in. He confirms everything we spoke about. And then now we're good to move forward to the closing date. And of course, the slim chance we weren't able to get it done at that price, we will of course talk about it. You are more than welcome to rip up the agreement, or if we can come to an agreement and move forward at that price, that's great. But more importantly, this is just for me to get to being 100% for buying your property.
Guys, if you didn't listen to that, rewind it and listen again. There's nothing but gold there, right? Think about the certain expectations you're setting. One, right? When you set that kind of tone, who's calling who? Who's waiting to hear back, right? The power dynamic, right? That seller is waiting for Jay, right? He's the one chasing Jay, like, hey, man, you good? Are you 100%? You're in control of the transaction. That's so important. Another thing, right? You want to make sure that you set the right expectation, because, hey, guys, it really sucks when you tell a seller that you're 100% buying it, and then something that you didn't notice comes about, and now you have to give them the bad news after being overly committed to them and telling them you're going to buy it. That's not how we work. I rather set the right expectation that, hey, because you know what? We're acquisitions, right? We're in sales. We're not contractors. So we might miss. Me and Jay are lucky enough to have the experience to be, close enough to a rental where, the people we work for trust us to make certain decisions. But we're never going to be as good as the guys that are doing this every single day. So how do you hedge against that? By setting the right expectation with the seller.
Yeah. guys, well said. And the only thing I want to touch on leaving the door open, it just gives you an opportunity for hiccups to come along the way. This is just another tactic to lock it up with giving you an opportunity to have the contract and then get in there and confirm everything. Some people aren't going to be okay with you leaving the door open. And then that's when you make sure everything's concrete, and then that's your final number. So just know these are just options and tactics. I hope you guys did learn a little bit about negotiation and a couple of tactics used to do so, because these little things will help you get a few more deals a year at least.
Yeah, and guys, we can talk about this. We can go on this for hours and hours, but I think it's a good time to maybe move on to our next segment, which is a book recommendation. So, perfect book, I guess, to talk about with what we've spoken about today is You Can't Teach a Kid to Ride a Bike in a Seminar. I know, Jagger, you're reading it right now, so you can definitely...
Yeah, guys, I'll say it one more time because the name threw me
off.
You can't teach a kid to ride a bike at a seminar. This book, if you're in sales or in business, you should be reading this book. I'm halfway through right now, and the moral of the story that I'm getting from it is it's pretty much just teaches you really how to talk to people and how to not sell. You want to make sure you uncover people's pain. You want to make sure you let them talk. You want to make sure that you're the prize. You want to make sure that you understand that you're trying to solve the seller's needs. That's just a little glimpse of what the book actually shows you. There's a lot of great tactics, and it's just a great mindset on how to really, really be in sales and make sure that you're the prize.
Yeah, I think with that being said, that's another episode of Sales with Jay and Ron, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode.
All right, guys, we're out.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed this week's episode with Sales with Jay and Ron. If you like the content, please feel free to like it and comment, subscribe, and catch you guys on the flippity flip.